Good morning, YouTube family. Today's mood is brought to you by Jesus. And it is good to be back behind this camera sharing the word of God with you. Today's message is entitled A Movie and a Message. What prompted me to teach this as I watched Captain America, A Brave New World. And a brave new world is trying to be, just with us excluded. Now, my reason for saying this is just my opinion, but most of this is facts. Anthony Mackie, first, I'd like to applaud him for his awesome work in this movie. He did a splendid job. Secondly, I want to applaud him for dealing with all the racial tension through this movie, physically and emotionally. Why do I say that? Well, through the first set of the movie, he comes off fighting. And I mean, he continues to fight and he continues to fight. Sound like us today, right? Once he catch a breath, he talks to the president and the president reminds him, you will never be Steve Rogers. And he does not give a rebuttal. Why? Because we are always told to humble ourselves. Because sometimes we are aggressive, or so they think. If you continue to watch the movie, he still kept battling. He still kept fighting. He didn't catch a break except for maybe 5 to 15 minutes to make a plot look good. And then right after that, an African American man was accused of something he did not do. He was brainwashed. Okay? So in that, he had to fight in that scene. And it continues. And then he has a little break. And then he goes back into fighting again. Then towards the end, he talks to his buddy while he was in the hospital bed and explains to him that he just wants to be recognized for who he is as a human and not the color of his skin. So we see that this movie wasn't a box office not because of his lack of acting skills and the action. It was because he was never going to be an African Captain America. He was setting the stage for something else. It was just for us to be happy because we have always seen white people. The first Captain America packed the movies because, first of all, he was white. They support their own. And then when it come to us, I believe we didn't have the ratings because African Americans didn't go see this movie. White people went to go see it, not all, probably some, to talk about it. So the theaters is telling us that it wasn't a box office hit. To me, it was. If he made any amount of money that was a large amount, it got swept under the carpet because he was not the first Captain America. If you look at how it started off, you had Thor 2, and then he became an Avenger. Captain America, and then Captain America went to Soldier, whatever, then he became an Avenger. Then you had Iron Man in his season, and then he became an Avenger. So it's like they all came up to it, but they were all white. And to give that up would just like be a slap in the face to Marvel. But because of this inclusion and diversity, they stick it in, but they stick us in, let me say it like that. But then we have to deal with the brutal reality of racism. Spider-Man, the cartoon version that came out with the African American boy, I don't know the title, but that one was another slap in the face by Marvel. In that movie, as you can see, when he started out, he got mobbed by different Spider-Mans from different universes. That didn't happen with the first 3 Spider-Mans. They just fought the enemy. All through this movie, this boy had to fight and then deal with loss and then fight. He was never alone as the Spider-Man. He wasn't looked at as the Spider-Man, not based on the color of his skin or his name. Just he couldn't be the Spider-Man by himself. He couldn't jump on the scene as Spider-Man by himself, just like Anthony Mackie couldn't jump in Captain America by himself. It had to be some type of struggle when it comes to making movies with us incorporated in them. So we are being judged, criticized in the movies we play, or I should say, we act in. And what I want to say to my African American culture, my community, do not look for man's approval. I don't care what nationality they are. Don't look for man's approval. And I hate to say this, but don't look for white people's approval. You're not going to get it. Take your talent, your gift, what you do in the community, how you love, how you see God, and walk in it. Enjoy being you. Hold your head up high and identify yourself by your first and last name. You're not black. You're not Afro-Latino. I don't like none of those things because I know they all stem from racism. You are you, whatever your first and last name is. Whatever your nationality is, you are you. Be the best you that you are. Now, let me give you the message. And this comes from Luke chapter 18, verses 10 through 14, because Jesus was speaking to people about how they judged another nation based on their nationality or the way they speak or the way they handle themselves. Let me start with verse 9. He spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. Two men went up to the temple to pray. Let me rephrase that. Two men went up into the temple to pray. The one a Pharisee, the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself: God, I thank you that I am not as other men are. Let me rephrase that. God, I thank you that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this guy. The Bible declares this publican: I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. Self-love. And the publican, who standing so far away, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but he beat upon his chest, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. He did not once antagonize the other man. He didn't condemn him. He didn't go off about him about the color of his skin or how much money he made. He didn't say nothing. He didn't even retaliate when he judged him in the house of God while he was praying to God. He just said, God, you are my focus. You help me. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalts himself will be brought low, and anyone that humbles himself will be exalted. If you do not have an established relationship with Jesus Christ, I invite you to confess his name with your mouth and believe within your heart that God raised him from the dead, and you shall be saved. But if you do not, thank you so much and have a peaceful day.